Today is August 15th, and here's our Buoy 10 update. Today there were definitely a few more fish around. Still, again, not a hot bite. You had to search for them, you had to hunt for them. I know a lot of guys that are searching for fish out there still. It was scratch fishing. If you grinded it out and stayed on top of the fish, then you were successful. And that honestly is probably one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make, is they just keep trolling on the same line that they are after they just had 2 or 3 grabs. They just keep on going. Now, I'm not saying the second you get a bite, you pick up and run back through the fleet. If anything, you need to go and just keep hunting, watch the other boats around you. The best fish finder in the world, even though I got all these electronics here behind me on the console, the best fish finder in the world is other fishermen. Now, don't get on someone's hip or right on their six and start trolling on top of their gear. But the best thing that you can do is just stay away from the rest of the fleet. Give everyone a bunch of room. If you see 100 boats all fishing the 30-foot line along, let's say the green can line, go into 20 feet of water, go to 50 feet of water. Stay away from the rest of the fleet until you see them start catching fish. There's no sense in being there unless there's activity. Once you see a bunch of boats start catching fish, go above them and then try and troll back through that same area. If you troll back through that same area, then you might be able to pick up a fish or two that was part of that group. So definitely pay attention, look around at other boats, see what's going on, trust your electronics. If you're not marking fish, if you're seeing a lot of grass on your graph, if you're getting grassed up, you're not fishing, stick and move. And then once you find them, run laps on them. We did that today. First thing this morning, we got onto a little group of fish and we made a couple laps through, got 2 or 3 bites, and then I saw inside of me some boats were catching fish. We moved inside, we picked up one more, and then I looked over at the rest of the fleet. There's probably 150, 200 boats. There's a lot of people down here, and I didn't see a single net. So we went way inside of them, shallower, and we had another grab. Then we started joining the fleet, getting on the troll that I like in about 28, 30 feet of water. Got a couple more grabs there, the bite died. We moved again and got away from the fleet. You just keep on moving until you find those fish. They're constantly flushing in and out. They're going out with the tide, then coming back in with the tide. And those groups of fish, you can tell a lot by the fish that you're catching. A good way to do that is by looking at the fish that you are catching. So if they are brown, brownish, a little bit discolored, or if they're really super bright, that really doesn't help you all that much. Look at the sea lice on the fish. Longtail sea lice comes off after about 2 to 4 days. And if the sea lice that are on your fish don't have that long tail, those are staging fish. So the staging fish are going to be found in that mixing water. They're trying to get prepared to come upstream. That mixing water is going to be, the river water is about 68, 70 degrees, and the mixing water should be right about 61 to 65. Ocean water is more that 58, 56 right in there. So if you're catching a lot of fish that don't have long-tail sea lice but still have sea lice on them, you might want to try and look for that water temperature. If you're catching fish that have long-tail sea lice, then you might want to look for a little bit cooler water, some fresher fish. If they have no sea lice on them, they've been hanging out in the estuary for a while, that group of fish that's come in the last few days is what you're targeting. Maybe you look for a little bit warmer water. So that is our tech tip there for today. The tides are getting a little bit smaller, so we'll kind of see what happens here these next few days. Hopefully the bite continues to get better. It's not hot, but there are fish to be caught if you pay attention to detail. Make sure your gear is fishing clean and you stay on top of the group of fish that you're actually getting bit from. Tomorrow, I don't know, hopefully more is the same. I'm getting close to a bridge finally, so I better get going. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll go over some gear. Hopefully you get an early start, which means end a little bit earlier. I got to MC the NSIA tournament the next 2 nights, but should have some time tomorrow afternoon before I go do that to go over some tackle, some gear, some rigging, and some trolling techniques. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Later.